Hey guys, Joe here at Joe's Gym. Again, welcome to the program. I just kind of want to touch base. Some of people who maybe don't know who I am and just kind of give you some of my background. I grew up in Iowa, Indianola, Iowa to be exact. It's a small town, small suburb just south of Des Moines. Population about 15,000. I was the youngest of three kids. I got an older brother, older sister. Greatest parents anybody could ever ask for. But I grew up in a town, very, very small town atmosphere. One of those towns that, it shut down on Friday nights to go watch basketball games, football games, things like that. I grew up watching a very athletic older brother, a very athletic older sister. I was, involved in sports, things like that. My father did a great job of introducing us to athletics in the right way. He never pushed us. He pulled us along the way. He would expose us to what was out there, and then I just got obsessed with it. He never pushed me into things. It was always he kind of pulled me along. So my background is I grew up playing sports. I had 10 varsity letters. I lettered in 10 different times, there aren't a lot of athletes that do that. I'm not saying I was anything impressive or anything, but yeah, I was a good track runner, a good cross-country runner. I was elite all-state in both. I was a 2-year starter in basketball, off and on. We had a very, very competitive basketball team. But I was a little guy, again, elite all-state cross-country, things like that. I was about 4 minutes away, or 4 minutes. I was about 4 seconds away from breaking a 15-minute 5K. So anybody understands about running and things like that? That's pretty fast. I was talented at running. I was incredibly just competitive, but I was always very small, very lean. I graduated high school at obviously 18. I was 130 pounds when I graduated high school, and nobody on the planet would have ever guessed that I would have become a national level bodybuilder in the NPC ranks. Again, that's an amateur, just a step below the IFBB. Now, I say national level. I did not place the greatest on a national level. I did place 12th at my national show, which was in Miami in 2017 at a welterweight division. So, but yeah, nobody would have ever guessed growing up that me, as little as I was going to go on and become a national level bodybuilder, things like that, own a gym, be coaching people on how to grow muscle. I've spoke to schools on muscle growth and things like that, and that would have been nothing anybody ever would have guessed about that. Why do I say that and why that's important? What I had to do was, one, from a mentality standpoint, I don't care where you're at right now. What I really care about is where you want to go, because it's not where you're going, it's where you want to go. You decide the course of your life, and if you want to change something, change something. That's all it takes. And then at that point, it does take time. I'm 39 years old at the time of recording this. It is here we are, April 2019. I'm 39 years old. So yeah, 18 years old was a long, long time ago. I've definitely reinvented myself from a physical standpoint. Now, my mentality, I'm the same kid as I was back then. Very driven, very motivated, very competitive. So I've really kind of carried that on throughout this process. But one thing in this website, in the content that you're going to see, is I wanted some form of advantage. And when it comes down to body shape, body type, growing muscle, genetically, I did not have, nor do I have an advantage to grow muscle. We all have advantages and disadvantages, but for the muscle growth aspect, genetically, this is just not my thing. Now, genetically, I can drop weight pretty well. When I got lean for show prep, things like that. I got pretty dang lean. About 3.5% body fat. My drop was really about 8 weeks, kind of 12 at a little taper off at 12 weeks. But a lot of people do much longer. I am blessed still with a pretty decent metabolism. But the growth of muscle, one thing that I really, really, really had to do was I had to put the science behind exercise. Because again, this is exercise science. And there were a lot of people that I kind of started following along the way. And again, I'm always going to give credit where credit is due. Some of the two most influential people that I have listened to in recent times are Ben Pakulski and Joe Bennett. Both of them are very good friends. Both of them have programs together. Again, I have watched both of those guys. Matter of fact, they have their own programs. This is not going to be the one-size-fits-all. I would even encourage people to go seek them out as well too. A lot of what I have is there. So again, I want to give credit where credit is due. Very, very few people actually invent or, create original thoughts. We all kind of regurgitate the same information. We learn it, and then we put it into, to our own lives. But going beyond that and past them, two bodybuilders that really influenced me was Mike Mentzer and Dorian Yates. So from a philosophy standpoint, I do tend to follow some of Mike Mentzer, Dorian Yates' philosophy on HIIT training, HIT, and heavy duty. And then the scientific side coming in from Ben Pakulski and Joe Bennett. I do like the fact that they do. They explain how the body moves, why it's supposed to move a certain way. Another gentleman that really influenced me was Dave Parisi. Very, very good personal trainer. Most people have maybe heard of him. But again, this is science. This is anatomy. And it's like if I was going to put anything to my advantage to compete against people that were genetically superior to me, I had to understand the science. If I understood the science behind this stuff, then I could level the playing field. And I'm not just talking about from a competition standpoint. This is also from just, my wife, a female that just wants to, she maybe has aspirations of going on stage. I don't know. I don't care. Most of my clients are people who will never step foot on a bodybuilding stage. Because that's just most people out there. Most people want to tone up, get the right type of shape, eat healthy, be able to go to the pool. I mean, we live in a society right now where moms are nervous and scared and insecure to go swimming with their kids, as if their kids care what they look like. And no one else cares what anybody looks like, but for whatever reason, sometimes we feel, just a little bit uncomfortable, taking the shirt off, getting in a swimsuit, things like that. But it's amazing when it's just like someone says, man, you know what, I don't care, I feel comfortable in a one-piece, a two-piece, I don't care. But this program, is really going to show people how to take the science behind muscle growth, the science behind fat loss, and the science of just overall health. So my background was I had to understand the science. I've been reading and learning and studying about this for 20 years now. And I mean, to the point of every time I'm in my car, I'm listening to another audiobook. Every time I go home, I'm watching something on YouTube. I'm subscribing to another author out there. And this resource is going to have a lot of authors and different books that I recommend, things like that. But again, some alternative thinking to challenge what we think we already know. So again, that was kind of my background. I'm a health coach with the Integrated Institution of Nutrition, so these are just tools that I'm going to pour everything that I've learned over the last 20 years into a website that you can study from the comfort of your own home. And these are questions that I get asked all the time, and I just find it easier. You know what? All these questions I've been asked, why don't I just record it and then just let everybody, siphon through the information as they want it, to where it's just out there for you guys to study again at your own pace, in your own living room, in your own bed, from your iPad, or whatever you want to do. But again, that's just a little bit of background on me. And I think that's relevant because, again, most of us are not genetically blessed to stay lean. Most of us are not genetically blessed to grow muscle. Most of us are not genetically blessed in many things. So again, but when it comes down to the gym, when it comes down to the fitness centers, when it comes down to dieting, when it comes down to eating healthy, that is not a talent. This is not going to be reliant on how talented we are. This is just a skill set, a mindset of getting the knowledge to know what to do, how to do it, when to do it, why to do it. All those things are going to be answered throughout this entire program. And I promise you there's going to be new information coming out weekly. We're going to have great guest speakers, experts that far exceed my knowledge. I'm going to get them. I'm going to seek them out and put them in front of you. So Again, there's going to be more and more little snippets on this stuff. Again, just a little bit of background on me. But anyways, guys, I am beyond excited to get to know you guys. If you do want to become a mega success story, I want to hear about it. I want to showcase success stories. I want to hear your story. I want to hear feedback. I want to hear what you like. I want to hear what you don't like. I want to hear more of what you want to hear. Again, this is going to be a two-way street. I want to hear from everybody out there. So again, appreciate all you guys. I really look forward to getting to know some of you, and especially hearing your success stories. Can't wait.